Settle in, take a breath, and let me carry you back tens of thousands of years. Imagine a winter night on the Ice Age plains where survival wasn't just a challenge, it was life itself. We moderns reach for a blanket, maybe a heater. But our ancestors faced storms that could erase the world. No down jackets, no sturdy boots, just hides, bones, fire, and each other. The sky blackened like ink. Winds howled like living things, and snow struck like knives. Caves weren't always waiting. They were often damp, dark, or already filled with predators. So people built their own shelters, mammoth-bone huts, hides stretched across colossal ribs, sealed with snow that became insulation. Snow, their enemy, was also their shield. Inside, shadows flickered across walls of bone and hide. Fires crackled in stone rings or shallow pits. Too much air, and the flames died. Too little, and smoke suffocated them. Yet they balanced it, night after night, against the roar outside. Fire was more than warmth. It was light, safety, cooking, even psychology. Archaeology shows they carried embers and fungus and bark, smoldering like portable lighters. In blizzards, firekeepers shielded sparks with their own bodies. Fat was fuel, bones burned when wood ran short, and flames became a family member tended in shifts. Storms buried hunting grounds and froze rivers solid. Preparation meant life. Dried meat, marrow-rich bones, and stored fat were treasures. Fat especially, high-octane fuel to keep bodies burning through the cold. And food wasn't just calories. It was comfort, shared meals reminding the group that they faced the storm together. Even scraps were precious. Bones cracked again and again for grease, hides boiled into chewable broth. It wasn't glamorous, but hunger didn't care. Forget cartoon cavemen in loincloths. In sub-zero storms, that meant death. Evidence shows fitted hide garments, sewn with bone needles, boots lined with grass, even head coverings. Beds of hides, moss, and ash insulated from frozen ground. Curling together, body heat multiplied, the original weighted blanket. One person alone could not outlast a storm. Groups divided tasks, tending fire, patching shelters, rationing food, watching for predators. Children fetched tinder. Elders shared memory. When storms came, where to find safety. Survival wasn't about the strongest. It was about the group refusing to let anyone fall. Storms tested not only bodies but minds. Trapped in darkness, fear could unravel everything. So they painted with ochre, carved ivory figurines, and played flutes from bird bones. Art wasn't idle. It soothed, taught, and gave order to chaos. Stories turned storms into characters, spirits with voices and tempers. Rituals with ochre or carved offerings gave courage. Music, soft songs, rhythmic drumming, was medicine for the mind. Wolves, reindeer, mammoths, all endured the same storms. Humans followed their trails, scavenged their kills, even learned persistence from them. Some believe the first steps toward domesticating wolves began in winters like these. Scraps tossed into the dark, a cautious truce. Predators like lions or hyenas prowled closer too, their coughs and laughs echoing just beyond the firelight. Fire became not only warmth, but a wall of defiance. Storms drove migration. When herds fled south, humans followed. When valleys turned barren, groups moved on. Every blizzard was a push, leave or starve. These migrations weren't heroic quests. They were forced marches that slowly carried humans across continents. At times, groups met, sometimes allies, sometimes rivals. They traded food, hides, tools. Other times they fought, raided, even killed. But either way, knowledge spread. Firecraft, sewing, hunting tricks. Every storm was a classroom, every meeting a transfer of survival secrets. Storms were brutal engineers. Scrapers had to be sharper for frozen hides. Spears became stronger, hafted with stone tips. Tinder was stored in hide pouches, safe from snow. Containers from bone and hide preserved fat and water. Nothing was wasted. Every invention was a scar turned into wisdom. Frostbite, hypothermia, smoke-damaged lungs, worn teeth, all etched into bones we find today. Yet even medicine began here. Dental remains show traces of herbs like chamomile and yarrow, plants with healing properties. Perhaps bitter teas brewed during storms, and socially survival was shared. Women nursed one another's children. Grandmothers tended fires and watched infants freeing others to hunt or sow. The storm revealed that longevity, care, and shared burdens were survival tools. Storms elevated fire into symbol. It flickered, breathed, consumed, almost alive. Tending fire became ritual. Losing it wasn't just practical failure. It was taboo, almost sacrilege. Around flames, myths grew, spirits of storm and fire, gods of light and cold. The sacredness of fire still lingers in candles, hearths, and rituals today. Storms pressured people to coordinate clearly. Missteps meant death. From grunts and gestures grew sharper signals, chants, and phrases. Elders preserved storm wisdom in words. Never leave in whiteout. Keep fire fed! Language sharpened under the howl of winter. Every storm became story. Losses turned into taboos. Never let the fire die. Survival tricks became rituals, passed to children as sagas. To endure was to remember, and memory itself became a cultural survival tool. So what do storms teach us? That our ancestors weren't just clinging to life. They were innovating, adapting, weaving survival into culture. They built shelters from bone, carried fire across snow, turned hunger into invention, and despair into art. Storms weren't just enemies. They were tutors. And we, the descendants of those who endured, still carry their lessons. When we gather around light, tell stories in the dark, or plan ahead for tomorrow, we echo the same resilience. Storms may rage, winds may howl, but humanity endures. We have always endured. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself. And until next time, keep the fire burning.